Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. This is the second video in my series where I see how much I can crochet while binge watching Grey's Anatomy. As I said in my first video, this series was inspired by Tiani Asada. She does the exact same series, so I completely copied her idea because I just loved it so much. And this is my first time watching it too, so very fun. It's intense, but I really like it so far. Okay, so I'm actually 17 minutes into episode 1 of season 2 because, like I said, I've been binging it, so I haven't really been paying attention. I've just been letting the episodes play. And I kind of forgot to check, so I'm actually 17 minutes into season 2, but we're gonna start by making a white heart keychain. I'll put a photo up. I've never made it in white before, but I have done it in other colors. And this is for one of my biggest orders yet, so I'm going to make this, and then it's pretty quick, so I'll probably, I have 25 minutes left. I might be able to finish it within this episode, but if not, definitely the next episode. Okay, we finished this heart, and oh my god, it took forever. I think I said I was gonna finish it like on episode 2, and I'm just starting episode 4. I had to redo it a few times because even though I was following the pattern exactly, it just wasn't working out, and I've made these before, so I'm not sure what happened, but it took me a little bit longer into season 2 than I had hoped. Yeah, even if I wasn't doing this challenge though, like, it took me longer than I had hoped, because usually these are pretty quick and easy, and I was thinking of making them for markets, but this one took a while, so I'm not quite sure what happened. But we are like just about at the intro of season 2 episode 4 when we finished this one. So our next project is a book cover. It's 6 granny squares, and then you connect them, so I'll show you what one granny square looks like when I finished it. I am on season 2 episode 6 right now. Oh my god, this episode is intense. It's the train crash scene. I won't spoil too much in case you haven't seen it, but it's intense. Wow, oh my gosh. But I've been working on these granny squares. I have 6 of them so far. This is 4 of them, and then I'm doing the continuous join as you go method. I don't know if I said that yet in this video. And so I had it started, but I really do need to block the granny squares. I was hoping I didn't have to, but I'm gonna have to. So I'm taking them apart, and I'm gonna block them overnight, but I just wanted to update because I'm basically just finishing episode 6, like, while I frog it, and then I'm gonna go to bed because it's late. So I will work on a new project on season 7 tomorrow, probably, because I'll probably let these be blocking for a little bit tomorrow morning too. Last night got a little chaotic, and I was more tired than I realized I was, and I was filming like a few videos at the same time, so I think I said that I was blocking the granny squares. I did that. So I'm blocking the granny squares right now, so I'm going to move on to a different project while I watch season 2. But oh my god, spoilers. If you haven't watched season 2 episode 7, spoilers, okay? So just beware. The last few minutes when they're at the bar, like, when Alex comes in and kisses Izzy, I wish I was like filming or something, because, like, oh my god, I was stunned. I texted Casey about it right away. I was like, that's the first thing. I mean, I want to text Casey about some stuff, but nothing interesting enough to like say here. But that's the first thing that I was like, I mean, a lot of it is like shocking, but it's more medical shocking, which is shocking, and like, this is the first medical show I've watched, so it's intense. There's definitely parts where, like, if there's gore, like, in the actual surgeries, like, I'm like, oh, like I'll just really focus on my crochet, look down, like there's a few things, for the most part I can watch, but there's a few things I'm like, oh, that's it. But yeah, love Christina. Izzy I was skeptical about in the beginning, but I really like her. George is George. I like him. And then of course Meredith. Love her. What else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that, like, I really like Derek. He's cute, but like, he needs to sign those divorce papers and get with Meredith because oh my god. Also like Alex and Izzy, like I saw that coming from the beginning. I forget his first name. Dr. Burke and Christina. I like them. I think they're cute together. I don't know. It's like many seasons, so I feel like the relationships that I'm seeing now aren't necessarily going to be the ones that work out. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll end and come back. I don't know. I can't figure out. I do feel bad for George. Like he really likes Meredith, but I'm like, dude, you're not gonna get her. Like, I definitely hated Alex in the beginning. Like, hated him. Like, thought he was a complete jerk. But he does have a soft side. Oh, and he was really sweet with that girl. The girl in the wheelchair who he was like supposed to take around with him all day and like convinced to get the surgery. I can't remember her name. I'm forgetting her name. But she was like, will you kiss me? And like he leans in and like something told me he wasn't going to, but I really liked what he said. He was like, he wanted to be special. This was right before this, of course, and then he comes in and he kisses Izzy. Yeah, he obviously has some stuff to work through, but I like him. I like him a lot. It's giving Tim Bradford, like he's so... I think the reason that I'm equating... Sorry, there's like hot glue on the computer and I'm trying to pick it off. I think one of the reasons that I'm equating a lot of these characters to the rookie characters is because I'm talking about both of these shows with Casey. And so I'm just like kind of like, I don't know, they're both like shows that I can't think of without thinking of Casey too. So like, obviously like, oh, there was I guess Christina and Meredith have had talks with Shepard and Burke about like, oh, like, I'm your boss, like, we can't do this, and it just reminded me of that one Chenford scene with like, there's a million, I don't remember the exact phrasing, but like, there's a million reasons why this can't work. I'm in your chain of command for once. Like, I can't remember it, like, if, maybe it was like, oh, no, it's when they're talking about how he won't be in her chain of command if he's in Metro, or like if he moves, you know, if they move around the station somewhere, he won't be in her chain of command, and it just reminds me of that. I don't know if I ever finished my thought about Alex. Alex reminds me of Tim because he can be a complete joke, but he can also be such a softie, like, and like they both have trauma with their dads. I just realized that. I forgot that Tim had that whole thing. And yeah, like, and they're both like tough, you know, they act tough, but they really just like, and they're both attractive. I don't mind that part. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna keep watching. I'm gonna start with season 2, episode 8, but here's what I'm gonna be working on. So I help in a first grade classroom, and I did this last year too. It was a gen ed classroom, and I think there were 16 kids. This year it's a special ed classroom. It's ERI, if you know what that means, emotional regulation impairment, if that means anything to anyone watching. That's the specific kind of classroom it is. And we currently have 4 students. We might get a 5th. We started the year with 2. Then got a 3rd who came in from another class in the same school. And then now we had another come in. and then we might get another in like a month or so. So that's the thing, you never know when you're gonna get a new student, but I am working on hats for all of them. I did it last year, like I said. This year it's like, I was like, oh, like, I'm gonna get these done right away, like it's so easy. It's only, at the time it was 3 hats, but I was like, oh, like I'll just like get these done, and I have those 3 done, but then I realized I have to line them. But still, like, it's, I gave them to the kids on like the last days of school this year. Right now it's March, so like I'm way ahead of schedule. So this is the pattern I have. I printed it out because when there were 16 of them, I was working on it in school a lot, so I needed to have something that wasn't on my phone. Okay, so I can't show you their names. So I have this one, that's like basically finished. I have to sew in this end, obviously, but I want to add this black stripe. I don't know if that was intentional or not by the kid, but I want to add it. Because I just like, the thing with these hats is I love paying attention to the little details. So I'm gonna work on that. I have this hat, which needs all of the little black heart detail things. I'll put them on here somewhere. Don't even ask how I did this. I have one hat that I completely finished, that's over there. And then this is the new kid's hat. And it's, thank God, it's easy. It's just all orange with a brown pom-pom. So that's what I'm going to be working on first, just so that I have the bases of all the hats. So I'm going to start those hats. Yeah, so this is the orange hat that I'm going to start on, and I will update you when I finish it. We're starting on season 2, episode 8. Hi, it's Editing Magdalena here. There's a weird jump here. In the last clip, obviously you saw that I was working on that hat, and then in the next clip I'm going to be working on some granny squares. So I don't quite know what happened there. I was filming a few different videos at once, so I think maybe I just got confused, but I did end up finishing those hats. I'm not sure if that comes back in later in the video, but so next up you're going to see me working on granny squares for like a book cover project. It's another day, it's Monday, and I am 13 minutes into season 2, episode 11, and I've started to connect my granny squares, but I'm just going to finish connecting them while I'm watching. I'm on episode 13. I am 15 minutes in, and I finished the book cover entirely. I sewed it all up, sewed in the ends, and then I also did the buckle. I also did the buckle. Forgot the name for a sec, but I also did the buckle. I'm 15 minutes into episode 13, season 2, episode 13, and this is where I'm starting for this scarf. If you watched my first Grey's Anatomy video, you know that when I do my scarves, it's not the most accurate because I also work on them in school when I'm not watching the show, but yeah, this is where I'm starting, and then I'll update you once this scarf is finished. Okay, I finally finished this scarf. I worked on it a little bit in school, like I said, and the ends haven't been weaved in, but I'm going to do that in school tomorrow, so it won't be while I'm watching. So everything that I will finish during Grey's Anatomy is finished. So I'm 20-ish minutes into season 2, episode 17, and oh my god, this is intense. Trying to figure out how to describe it for the people who know it, but not spoil it if you don't know it. I'm gonna say that it's the episode where Meredith's hand is inside a patient's chest. What's the second episode, like of that whole story? Oh my god, it is so intense. It's 10 o'clock. It's a school night. I'm supposed to get off my phone at 9 and like electronics at 9, but I literally could not stop in the middle of that episode. And then this episode continued the story, so I can't go to bed after this. Like, I mean, I will, I'm gonna read, but I have to know how it ends. Anyway, like I said, these 2 episodes have been very intense, but this is where I am in the scarf. I finally finished it, and I am starting a new one like 20-ish minutes into season 2, episode 17, but again, same thing, I'll work on it in school while I'm not watching, so when I'm doing the scarves, it's not the most accurate like during the weekday, but whatever. Okay, I'm starting episode 18 of Grey's Anatomy, and I'm working on these little flowers. I have some already, but basically it's just all gonna go on this flower crown. So I'm gonna make a few more and then tie them all on, and I'll tell you where I am in Grey's when I'm done with the whole flower crown. I'm 20 minutes into episode, 20 minutes into episode 20, and I finished this flower crown. I'm very, very proud of how it came out. I love how all the colors look together, and yeah, so this one is for a giveaway. I'm participating in a giveaway where a bunch of crochet, people who make crochet are like making stuff, and then it'll all be a giveaway on one person's account. It's Bug Girl Crafts if you want to go follow them. But yeah, so this is what the flower crown looks like. I ended up tying some of the flowers so that they stay a little bit more in place, because that's what the video said, but I didn't do it on mine because I didn't really mind if they moved around, but I did tie them on this. So the next thing I'm going to do is actually not technically crochet, but it does deal with my yarn, so I'm going to talk about it and include it in this video, is I'm just going to organize it. I have some balls of yarn that I want to cake. I'm 25 minutes into episode 22, and I have all of my yarn cakes here. I have like 20 yarn cakes. Some of them I left in balls because they're like this small, or like even smaller. Some of them are literally just like scraps, but I'm gonna put them in my scrap bag and then go to bed because it's late. And then I'll pick up with actual crocheting tomorrow when I continue to watch. I am 25 minutes into episode 22, and our next project is this scarf. I'm almost finished with it. I just have like one more section of bumps to do basically, so, and then I have to do the feet. So I will finish that and then come back to you. I completely forgot to update you, but I finished the body of the caterpillar scarf. Right now I'm at the end of, I just finished episode 24. But I have also been working on this, you really can't tell what it is, but it's gonna be a love bug. I'll put a photo up of like the pattern. It's kind of like a 3-in-1 pattern, but I'm doing the butterfly one. So yeah, this is what I'm doing. And then I also made these eyes and the nose for the caterpillar, but I didn't sew them in because I just don't feel like sewing right now. So yeah, I'm at the end of episode 24 and I finished the scarf, and I'm moving on to the love bug. Okay, I just finished season 2. Whoa. Okay, I love like the idea of it. Obviously everything didn't play out the way it was supposed to, but okay. How do I say this without spoilers? Danny. Oh my god, Danny. So much happened with Danny. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to spoil it, but that was so intense. I love the way that you know who held Izzy when, I'm trying not to spoil it, but you know who held Izzy when they were with Danny. Oh my god. And Izzy's dress. Obsessed with it. Anyway, let me show you the projects I finished. Okay, I think the last time I updated you was when I was starting the love bug. So this is everything I finished. I'm starting this, actually finishing the second wing. I finished the head, I put the safety eyes on, and I did the ears. I think I'm gonna do the nose before I sew it on, but I also just didn't feel like sewing right now, so I didn't. I did one full set of the wings, and then I did the body. Okay, so to give you an idea of what it's gonna look like, it's kind of like this. And then there's little nubs for the feet. I think there's 4 or 6 of them on this one, I'm not quite sure. I used a 4.25 millimeter hook for this. And it actually says to use the hook that goes with your yarn. So in my case, that would be an 8 millimeter one. And the biggest I have is 6.5. And that was way too big for me. I was picturing these things really small. So I think if I did them again, I would do smaller. That's just like how my interpretation of them was, is that they're small. So next time I would go smaller, but yeah, this is what I have done. And then I'm going to do a recap of everything that I finished throughout the entirety of season 2 of Grey's Anatomy. Okay, the first 2 things that I finished I don't have because they were in order, so I shipped them off, but it was a white heart keychain and a Granny Square book cover. I'll put the photos up so you can see what they looked like. And then the next things I worked on were these hats. So for this hat, I just did this little black line here. These are based on my first graders' hats. They drew them. So if they look a little wacky, that's why. Then I did the details for this one as well. There's like some hearts, some circles. Yeah, and I did, there's a heart back here too. So I did the details on those 2. I had done the base of the hats previously, like before I started watching Grey's. But then I finished the entirety of this hat. I did the base, the pom-pom, everything, sewed in all the ends while watching Grey's. The next thing I finished was a scarf. This is not the exact scarf because I shipped that one as well, but this is exactly what it looked like, although I do think it had brown antennae, but other than that, same thing. And I finished this flower crown. I did some of the flowers and then attached all the flowers, but I had done the base and like the other half of the flowers. But yeah, it's a flower crown that I'm gonna enter into a giveaway so that like someone else will get this. The next thing I did wasn't a project, like a physical project, but it was crochet. This is on my scrap yarn and I caked it up. I'm gonna try to show you. You can barely see. Okay. But I caked up a bunch of different scrap yarns. So some were small like this. Some were more substantial like this one. This is actually 2 cakes of this color. And then some were just literally scraps, so I left them as that. But anyway, I caked up what I could of my scrap yarn stash, and that was about 20 cakes of varying sizes. And then, like I just said, I was working on this love bug, so I did the head and the body. I didn't sew them together yet though. And then I did one full set of wings, and then I have this half of the other wing and the other half. I'm okay. That was my hook. The other half, I'm starting it, but it's still connected because I haven't finished it yet. That's the end of this video since I did finish season 2 of Grey's Anatomy. Obviously this video is a lot longer than the season 1 video. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. Link will be in the description, and it's the same playlist that this one is in. But yeah, the season is longer, so the video is longer. I had more projects. But I hope you enjoyed watching, and stay tuned for the next part when I eventually finish season 3.